Hello, and welcome to this demonstration of Flex 83, the latest application enablement platform advancement from IoT 83. For this demonstration, imagine you're tasked with creating an application to manage emergency response assets to combat the recent wildfires in California. You need to do it quick, the solution needs to be reliable, flexible, and scalable. Today, I'll walk you through how you could do exactly that using the Flex 83 platform and create a powerful and professional-grade IoT solution. Just by connecting the emergency management devices and configuring the system, Flex 83 will dynamically create a powerful IoT connect, monitor, and manage application for these purposes. So let's see how to create an account by navigating to the main Flex URL. You can just click that from our website and it'll take you to this location. Here you can create a freemium account or an enterprise account. The enterprise account is loaded with powerful features and workflows, but everything that I'll show you today we can do from either type of account. So to create the account, simply click the link and fill in all of this information. As soon as you're done, click Next, and Flex 83 will forward to your email the login information you need to get started while your application is dynamically created in the background. Let's go ahead and get started. So here I am logged into my account where I've already created this application, and I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know in order to do something exactly similar. So we first go to the device setup. Here we can define device types. Well, as you can see, I've already created 3 device types. So let's go in and configure or look at these device types to see what I did in order to be able to create those. So the first thing you do is you name the device type. Then you set up a reporting frequency. This can be reporting data every 10 seconds, 100 seconds, whatever makes the most sense for your application. Describe the device type, and then provide an image. You'll see that this is very useful later in the application. Once this is done, click Update. Then go down below and establish how many devices you want to create. In this particular case, I created 5 devices, and you click Generate. Then we'll come to this later. You want to email the credentials to yourself for how you will connect your external devices to your IoT application. This information is your MQTT publish and subscribe topics. Further down, you can add RPC commands. Let's take a look at this particular command that I created. For this emergency generator, I created an emergency shutdown remote procedure call, where if there's something going fundamentally wrong with the emergency generator, we can cause it to be shut down by sending a control message down to the device. We'll show you how that works later. Finally, down here at the bottom, we can create a device topology. So we've got the device type as the far end of the topology. We've got a remote gateway, an LTE gateway that is connecting that device wirelessly to the cloud, and then finally the cloud itself. You'll see how valuable this topology creation is later as well. Once all of this has been created, we click Save and then move on to managing the devices. In device management, each one of the devices that was created is shown. So in this particular case, we would open up one of the devices, name the device. This particular device has been named Generator 1. And then we can go in and set a location for where we want that device to be. We can either enter a street address, we can enter longitude and latitude, or we can simply zoom in to where the device should be located and click. That will place this device there. So one by one, we go through and locate each one of these devices. Then we can move on to creating device groups. For all of the device types that we've created, we can go in and create device groups. Here you see I've got backup generators, pump stations, and environmental sensors. Let's stick with the simulated, with the backup generators for now. What I've done is I've created simulated generators and physical generators. We're going to show you how to create the simulated generators here in just a moment. So for either one of these, these are of the four backup generators that we created. We added the physical devices to these device types. We can also set tags for these devices, where we can tag them with multiple different tags for context. These tags can be useful for creating prioritization, for sorting due to location, sorting for criticality. All sorts of different value can be added by tagging the individual devices. The next thing to do is set up attributes. But to set up attributes, we actually need to start sending the data to Flex83 so that Flex83 can scan the JSON data we're sending and establish a schema for the device. In this example, I've done that in two ways. First, I've used a very powerful feature of Flex83, or the device simulator. Let's take a look at that. Here I've got three different simulations. Let's look at the pump station simulator. To set up the pump station simulator, we go and grab the JSON data that we're actually going to be sending in the device and paste it here. Of course, we select the device type that we want to create a simulator for, the reporting frequency, which device group we want to drive the simulation to. The device count will be set automatically associated with the number of devices in the device group. And of course, this is highlighting the device topics that this simulation will drive. Once we click Configure Attributes, a very powerful feature of the simulator is opened up. Here, each one of the JSON data elements has a data type that can be established for the simulation, a value type that can be constant, linear, random always, random once, lambda functions, which we'll describe in a subsequent video, or control functions. Once this is all configured, you can click OK or Update. The device simulator will be set up, and you can click Start for the device simulator. And now all of this JSON data, according to your simulation, will be forwarded to that device type. But now that we've got the simulation running, we can go to set up attributes. We've got the backup generator, the pump station, and the environmental sensor. We can select between those to be able to establish the different device attributes that we want to set. For example, I wanted to set the AQI, or air quality index, the door open monitor, the pump current, pump voltage, radio strength, system health, tank level, etc. Here I can give all of those the display names that I want to be able to see in my dashboards and establish the units. There's another powerful feature of the attribute manager. I can actually create synthetic attributes. Here, for example, my telemetry data is not sending power, but it is sending current and voltage. So I can name a new synthetic attribute, power, set its display name as power, unit in watts, and say, yes, I want to create an expression. So the expression then is, I click @A, which gives me a list of these features that I can, these attributes that I can select from, and I select the current times the voltage to create a simple expression. And then I debug this feature to be sure that the attributes that I've created make sense to the system, and that the synthetic attributes are properly configured. I see that they are, and so I can kill this and then click Update, and the attributes are now set for this particular device type. Okay, so now that we've seen how to set the attributes, let's go take a quick look at how to set up physical devices. We looked at simulated devices, but now to show how physical devices are connected, let's look at this Node-RED implementation for connecting the remote pump stations. Here I've created a Node-RED application for connecting the pump stations, but now let's look at how the MQTT is actually connecting to the Flex83 cloud. Remember earlier we downloaded our credentials. The credentials that were downloaded provide the username, the password. This is the MQTT username, the password, the MQTT broker URL information, the port number to use, whether it's TCP or TLS secured TLS, the published topic, the subscribed topic, and then the MQTT root certificate to be used for TLS configuration. So to make this easier, what I did was I said, okay, what is my physical device ID that I want to connect? I get that from here. I just grab this particular device, device ID, and drop it into this location. So now for my published topic, I've got the device type ID, and I drop this device ID to create this MQTT topic for reporting. Similarly, I use the device type ID and the specific device ID for the control channel. So now we grab fields from this table and these items that we constructed here, and we configure the Node-RED flow. So let's take a quick look at that. So first, what topic is it? This is the device ID combined with the device ID itself on the report topic. So now let's go establish an MQTT server. So I named this Flex MQTT, and we add the MQTT server from our configuration information that we looked at just a moment ago. This is going to be secure, so we're using the secure port, and then we enable TLS configuration, and we go to configure that. Here we add the root CA that we downloaded using this URL here. Just drop that URL into a browser, click go, and you'll download this certificate. Upload that certificate, update that, add your security information. This is your username and password that you got from your configuration file, and then update. If you enter all of that, then, oh, one thing I forgot to show you, you've got to add the client ID here. Add the client ID here. And so once all of that is done, click deploy, and the MQTT will connect to the platform. So now this Node-RED implementation is delivering this telemetry data to the Flex83 platform. In the background, as we've been doing all of this, Flex83 has been building our application, and there's a lot already set up. But I want to show you just a couple more things before we go on to that. So let's go take a look at alarms and configurations under operations. So under alarms and configurations, once again, we've got the different device types that we can operate on. In this case, we're looking at the backup generator. So the different attributes in the backup generator are current, fuel level, oil pressure, or revolutions per minute, radio strength, engine temperature, voltage. All of these have got certain ranges of optimum operation condition and certain ranges that should be considered warnings, minor warnings, major warnings, and critical level alarms. Interestingly, some values, it matters whether the telemetry information is running too high as well as too low. So that can be set as well. Once all of these have been set, according to the set points that you want to establish, click Update, and that has been configured as well. Now we can move on to events. Events are action on events that some set of circumstances take place, and you want to send a remote procedure call, perhaps, or you want to send an email, a webhook, perhaps you want to send an SMS to alert service. So with this, you can go in and create these circumstances. In this particular one, for the backup generator, for the physical device group, we've created an event called emergency shutdown. These are looking for conditions to force a generator shutdown. No devices in this particular case were excluded, and so we set up this trigger condition as follows. We can use and or operators. In this case, we're using or. If the revolutions per minute exceeds 3,200 or the oil pressure is less than 140 psi, we want to send for one consecutive occurrence. So anyway, on this event, we can send an SMS, an email, or a remote procedure call. In this particular case, I've set it up to send a remote procedure call. So here's an example of using action on event. Once this is updated, we're ready to go. So now that all of this has been, we've connected our devices. So now we've configured our devices. We've set alarm and alert limits, and we've set some events for action on event under certain circumstances. With all of this done, our application has been created in the background. So here is the device list view that is a comprehensive view of all of the devices that we have established, the environmental sensors, the pump stations, and the generators. We have high-level information. When is it last reporting? Is it online? Is it offline? Is it producing any alarms? And then we can drill down into these devices to see what its particular behavior is. So this is the drill down at the device view. And we've got all of this information, the metadata associated with the device, and then any telemetry information that we might want to take a look at. Drilling down further, we can monitor each of these devices and look at what is the time series information associated with this particular device, as well as the instantaneous information associated with this device. If we want to add new parameters, we can add a new dashboard element, go to configure that. Let's say, for example, we want to look at the oil level. We can name the chart. We can set ranges. This particular one is in percent, so we would go 0 to 100%. Click Save. Dynamically, our new dashboard element is created. Notice that this inherits the alarm and alert information that we set. So we said that anything below 55 was critical, anything below 65 was a warning, etc. In the green is only down to 85. Another dashboard element that's been created for us in the background is this map and geofencing. So here's all of our devices. So here's all of our backup generators that are superimposed on a map as we placed them earlier. Our pump stations are all out in the deployed according to our earlier configuration, and the environmental sensors for detecting air quality have all been deployed as well. Each one of these, then we can get summary information associated with that and then drill down to the same views that we were looking at before. In addition, we can look at the alarm conditions that are associated with a particular device, as well as the aggregates associated with all of our devices. So here we've got a view of all of the alarms and behaviors associated with our device types. We can filter on the different types of devices that we're interested in. Let's say, for example, we only want to look at our pump stations. We see the different information associated with that and what is the scope that we're interested in. We're only interested, say, for example, in the alarms that have occurred within the last 3 hours. All of this very powerful information is available in aggregates. We've got event history logs as well, where we can sort depending on the types of devices that we're interested in. And here we see that we've only got a few events, and then we've got the device alarms that we can sort through all of the different devices. We can evaluate which types of devices, which groups, which tags, etc. are we interested in, and monitor that. Finally, we've got a connection history page that shows what has been the connectivity for each of these devices. As we can see, our simulated generators have been connected all along. Our Node-RED devices have periods where they're disconnected because of the way this particular technology has been implemented. So this has been a quick overview of Flex83, how to connect your devices to the platform, configure them, and as you configure them, in the background, your application is being dynamically created by the Flex83 click-through application creation service. The simulation service was just one example of the many innovative components of Flex 83. As a part of Flex 83, there's identity access management services, data source management, analytics, code creation capabilities, and multiple visualization elements, as well as detailed online help. So as you can see, with this demonstration, we've really just scratched the surface of all of the versatility and capabilities that are available in Flex 83. But the best way to really appreciate the power of Flex 83 is to sign up for a free trial. Establish an individual account today, or better yet, establish an enterprise account and start working with all of the multiple services that Flex 83 provides. Fast application creation, great visualizations, action on event, alarm and alert management is just the beginning. Join us on the platform at Flex 83. Flex 83, let's build something great.